So Iran is going to stop complying with some parts of the Iran nuclear deal that Donald Trump voided, bailed on. And this is actually perfectly logical behavior for Iran. Iran is acting rationally here. And this is being reported in many corporate media outlets and everywhere in right-wing media as, see, look, Iran is bad. Iran can't be trusted. Trump was right to void the nuclear deal with Iran. And these people are either deliberately dishonest or they're actually just ignorant to how causation works when time moves forwards rather than backwards. Here's what's going on. Iran's president said late last week that he is going to move away from the Iran nuclear deal on their end. And it's likely that they're going to start producing nuclear centrifuges. They're going to start stocking up on nuclear material. And immediately the reaction from the pro-Trump side was, look, Iran's terrible. We can't trust them. Look at what they're doing. But the truth is, this is Trump's fault. This is not a show that blames Trump where blame is not deserved. When we talk about the economy, we talk about what does a president control? What doesn't a president control? You know that that's the way I handle things. But this is not Iran being a bad actor in the irrational sense, in a bad faith sense. This is a direct result of Donald Trump canceling a deal, not Iran, that Iran did nothing to violate. There are reports that are saying the headline here is Iran to stop complying with the nuclear deal. Trump voided the deal already, right? Iran is not bound by a deal that was already voided by the other party. And usually in geopolitics, things are complicated and nuanced, and there are many factors. Causation is difficult to suss out. What was actually the order of things, and is there a causal relationship? Endless ifs, ands, and buts. This is a very simple case. Trump canceled a deal that Iran stuck to. So now Iran is saying, well, if Trump already voided the deal, let's actually do some of this development because it's in our best interests one way or the other. And those best interests are to resume nuclear development. Obama signed the deal with Iran. Lots of right wingers said it's a bad idea. Iran can't be trusted. OK, I mean, there was reason to be skeptical of whether Iran could be trusted. But Iran stuck to the deal. They stuck to the inspection guidelines. We have no evidence that Iran violated the Iran nuclear deal. In comes Trump. And even though Iran did nothing wrong, Trump says, bad deal, we're voiding it, the United States is getting out. It's a diplomacy disaster. Countries can't trust that from one president to the next, we're going to stick to our agreements. Why would other countries abide by them? Why would other countries even get into agreements with the United States? So once Trump says we're ending the deal, and in fact starts looking at adding more sanctions on Iran, which is what's going on now, obviously Iran is going to do the internally logical thing of going back to researching nuclear technology, since that's in their immediate best interests. They stuck to the deal. Trump ended the deal. What's the incentive for Iran to stick to it? If Trump is sanctioning them anyway, if they're being, in a sense, punished, even though they stuck to the deal, now that the deal is gone, you go back and do some nuclear development. Either it will get you something of value. We know that nuclear technology is of geopolitical value to countries that exist on planet Earth. They'll either end up with that, or they will get some other kind of deal where they now have something they can agree to give up in exchange for other things of value in some kind of future negotiation. When a United States president unilaterally withdraws from a deal that the other party is complying with, they go back to what they were doing or thinking of doing or planning to do. I don't want Iran to have nuclear weapons. I never wanted Iran to have nuclear weapons, and I'm for denuclearization, actually, at bigger picture. But the policy of undo everything Obama did turns out to be a really bad foreign policy platform. And this is one of the obvious, predictable results that we've been talking about since Donald Trump said we're avoiding the Iran nuclear deal. Is there any other possible interpretation and assessment of this? I want to hear from you. I'm on Twitter at @dpakman, and the show is on Twitter at David Pakman Show. Let me know. Today's sponsor is Skillshare, and I'm excited to tell you that everybody in our audience is getting 2 entire months of free access to Skillshare when you click the link underneath this video. Skillshare is the site that offers over 25,000 online courses on almost any topic you can imagine: cooking, meditation, photography, video editing, Photoshop, managing a small business, almost an endless list. And whether you're trying to get ahead in your career, maybe you want to learn new skills that will make you better at your job, you might just be exploring a new hobby and you're trying to find new ways to be creative in your personal time, Skillshare's the perfect place to fully immerse yourself in whatever you're trying to learn. I really enjoyed the class on more advanced video editing techniques because it's something I've been wanting to improve at, but have been very busy hosting the David Pakman Show for the last few years. Once again, the David Pakman Show is giving you 2 whole months of access to every single class offered by Skillshare. After those 2 months, if you want to keep your subscription, Skillshare's super affordable at less than $10 a month. Get better at whatever it is that you're passionate about, or discover something brand new that you didn't even know that you would love, and join Skillshare's other 7 million users by clicking the link underneath this video.